Welcome to this week's edition of the MMA Analysis podcast. I am your host, Lance Fishel. Wes will be joining us. He said 10 minutes.
Question mark?
It's been 16, so we went ahead and got going. Sean had to shave so his beard didn't catch on fire.
Mm-hmm.
I hate it. My face is cold. It's gross. It's just Now the clock begins on when it starts growing in again.
Is it not? Is it still cold in Canada?
It's warming up. It's better. We were hovering around probably like 45 Fahrenheit.
Oh,
that's
shit!
cold.
You guys have terrible weather. The last couple days here have been like 20 our weather, which is like 70 for you guys.
We're tomorrow's 75.
Not bad.
We've had some
Soon,
crazy
hopefully.
wind and stuff. Like we had 35, 40 mile an hour winds today randomly during the day, so that was cool.
How fast is that in actual speed?
There's only one true measurement. Some kind of kilometer.
It's kilometer.
They don't really even teach us that in American schools.
They don't teach you a lot of things in American schools, if we're being honest.
They teach us about gun rats.
They teach you about America, and that's what's important.
Hey, take care of Jeffs.
Yeah.
Yep. Brad, how are you?
I'm doing excellent. You know, enjoying some of the NCAA women's basketball tournament because I support equality and competitive basketball games, which, I mean, nothing says competitive sports more than women's MMA, women's basketball.
You're a big supporter for the cause.
I'm an ally.
They got their
that's what it
workout
is.
room. That was good to
Yeah.
see.
Yeah. Thanks to me.
Man, that workout room she did picture. Like at first I saw the tweets and I was like, what is this complaint about? I was like, oh. They gave you like 6 dumbbells.
Yeah.
It's like what you thought it was, and then way worse.
It was 100 times worse than like the Marriott workout rooms that you have in like regular hotels and everything else. Not a good look.
Embarrassing. Absolutely embarrassing.
The ladies were going back to the hotel to work.
Yeah, it was not good. It was not good. But way to go, Brad. I can't watch that. It's not fun. It's not good. It makes WMA look.
Did you see the clip that I posted of the team that was winning by almost 40?
We got rejected by a layup by the rim.
And then smashed into the stanchion.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah. It was good.
Good stuff.
What can you do? So we had a card last week. It was okay. There were some good finishes. Thought the main card was decently entertaining.
I saw virtually nothing. So you guys are going to have to keep me posted.
Good.
We can do that. There was some funny stuff. It was pretty good. We can start with the main event and then go back from the beginning like we do sometimes, which this was the consensus bet of the week on Derek Brunson plus 150. And there's a lot to unpack. I don't know if you saw this fight, Brad, but there's a lot to unpack in this fight. So one, Brunson gassed out in 5 minutes. No one really talked about it. Like he was gassed out really from bell to bell and still found a way to be able to, oh, hey, Wes, we went ahead and jumped in. We didn't know if you were coming. But your perfect timing, we just got to the Brunson fight. So we just started. But I thought Brunson was gassed legit the whole fight. I was worried, even in the 5th round, until he got the takedown. I was like, oh, man, he's going to get knocked out. Like, he's going to get knocked out. It's going to happen. And I thought Brunson did what he was supposed to do. He used his wrestling. I think everyone keeps talking about all the talking that Kevin Holland did. I think the biggest thing to me, outside of him being an idiot, is that might be the worst wrestling in the history. Brunson could barely catch his breath, and he still took him down with ease without breaking a sweat. And Holland's just not good. He's undersized for the weight class for one, but the guy doesn't seem like – if he acts like that during a fight, there's no way that guy trains hard. There's no way he's getting better in the gym. He's going to beat guys he's supposed to and lose the guys he's not supposed to, and it's going to be based on styles.
As long as he fights somebody with pretty much no wrestling, he'll do okay.
He'll still get taken down.
Derek Stewart. Or Darren Stewart. He took him down like 8 times.
I don't know if he – it's hard to know if he got gassed or how much that him getting rocked probably gassed him out a bit more than normal. But
Ooh, Brunson?
Yeah, I mean, it was, yeah.
He was tired the whole fight. Like, after that first round, he got up and he was like, well, I was like, oh, man, this bet's dead. I was like, this is a dead bet.
I mean, I was clenching when he was starting to get rocked there. But on the plus side, he can take Holland down, like, absolutely concussed.
Yeah.
With no issues.
Yeah. He was tired and unconscious and got the easiest takedown I've ever seen. And then usually when a really tired guy who, like, he wasn't super tired, but he was really hurt in that round. I think it was the second round where he got knocked down. Usually when the guy who's really hurt gets the takedown when they're basically out of it, usually that guy can get up really quick and get it back to the feet. Holland didn't even try to get to the feet. Like, I don't know what he was thinking. And I think towards the end he knew he had no chance, and that's why he was being even more ridiculous throughout. He quit. We watched him, and Dana said mental breakdown. I didn't think mental breakdown. He always talks. I think he quit. I think he quit in like the third round.
He accepted the L. And
yeah,
that's what it was.
Wes, what do you think about your boy Brunson?
He didn't give this a meme. I guess that
was close.
That's all he tried.
Hey, with Brunson, it's always memes or money. So you're good either way.
Yeah, I mean, I think we all thought that line was kind of stupid. It was just either which way you looked at it, it was a bad matchup for Holland. There was one way he was going to win that fight. I mean, I want to say it was 50-50. Maybe it was when he dropped him that one time. I mean, that was some clinch there, some pucker there, but I just didn't get the hype on Holland, man. I think we all thought he was just a major fucking hype train. We've seen
the
so
COVID
many
hype train.
Yeah, I mean, during the past year or so, we've seen so many of them. Props to Holland for talking himself into that position, because he absolutely beat up some cans and
how washed is Jacare?
Like, yeah, that's sad.
I'm still so shocked that he managed to lose that fight.
Yeah,
to that guy.
I think I almost, if they was to run that back like next weekend and you gave me some plus money on Jacare, I'm taking
Still take it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't think I think Jacare absolutely underestimated. Like he got him down so easy and was just like, oh, this is over. And he got fucked up. Like, no doubt he got fucked up, but Jacare, look what happened to that guy again. I mean, Brunson just some of the most basic sloppy takedowns was taking Holland down. It wasn't like some supreme skill that was taking that dude down.
It was force. It was legit force. Like he wasn't setting his shots up. They knew it was coming. He knew he'd get you know how hard it is to take someone with any wrestling skill down from an upper body lock to work in it. You should never be taken down. And it's funny, like I watched wrestling for a billion hours last weekend, like all day Thursday, all day Friday, finals on Saturday and medal round Saturday. And then I'm watching Kevin Holland wrestling. I was like, man, how bad is MMA? Like you watch a boxing match and they're all technical. And then you imagine watching a technical boxing match and then watching NCAA wrestling and then watching MMA. Like it really is funny. And like I think about it, like the guys who were wrestling on Saturday, could they beat Kevin Holland tomorrow? Like, could they beat him tomorrow? And
yes.
It's good. It's funny when you think like that, like Aaron Brooks and guys like that who won national titles on Saturday. Like, yeah, maybe they could beat Kevin Holland. And we were talking earlier about
Jake Wenzel could definitely beat
his
Kevin
top
Holland.
game. So Wenzel, I know you guys don't watch wrestling, but so Wenzel's like a top game specialist. He's one of the only guys I've ever seen where nobody chooses bottom against him because you can't get up. Imagine if you learned some jiu-jitsu, like pretty impressive.
I was thinking about that though. I was like, because the wrestling in MMA is bad. The striking in MMA is bad. The jiu-jitsu is probably the closest thing to being like top level elite skills, but nobody grapples anymore. So like we have to be honest with ourselves. If we like MMA, we like it because it is some carny ass shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's it.
Was it on the show we were talking about Bo Nickel or before the show? I don't recall.
Before.
Before. So I don't know if you've seen. So Brad, you mentioned Wenzel. I don't know if you watched any of Bo Nickel when he was wrestling. His top game was. Imagine Jake Wenzel if he was like 10 times more aggressive. That's kind of like Bo Nickel. And Bo Nickel's already said he's going to MMA. And I was reading this weekend, and Bo Nickel was posting on Twitter the construction. He's opening his own AKA gym with the AKA guys in Happy Valley, which Happy Valley is where Penn State is. So they're literally going to have an AKN gym at Penn State next to the college that produces like nothing but national champions. And man, like there's a chance for that to just be a factory of good guys. And you would think, the guys that's in California will be traveling up and stuff. So it's kind of interesting to watch. And like every time I watch wrestling, I always think of like who's going to be the guys, like who's going to come out, who's going to be this. And there's a lot of guys. So if you don't watch wrestling, you might want to check it out. It's always fun. And then in a couple of weeks, we have the Olympic trials. So if Kyle Snyder has a really bad tournament, he might be starting MMA sooner than he expected. We'll see. There's a lot of good guys coming out of that.
We should start a fighter management company and just move to Happy Valley and just set up shop there. We can call it like A to Z MMA or something like that.
Well, then Americans would be like, "Who's Zed?" I think we're one of the only countries that says Z too, aren't we?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, you got to be unique. It's very important to be being a unique.
Whatever you want to call it, Lance, you can call it that.
I still think Brunson's going to lose next fight. Pretty much anyone they match him up with, he's probably going to lose.
He's asking for Costa. Damn.
Yeah, he would probably.
Watch that.
I mean, Brunson. You talk about Jacare. Jacare can't take a jab on top. Brunson can't really take a jab on the feet.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a interesting dynamic. I don't know if they'll make that. Is Costa? He keeps pulling out of fights. I have no
Costa
idea.
pulled because
COVID.
He got sick. Well, it wasn't. Supposedly it was the flu, not COVID. So now that's why they're doing Whitaker versus Gastelum now, because it was supposed
Brad
to be
was just
Costa.
He has COVID.
Definitely COVID. Yeah.
I got my first dose yesterday.
Nice.
Yeah.
You have
I can tell
pre-existing conditions, don't you?
Feel good.
You've got a glow about you today. Actually, if I look on my phone, I can.
Can you log into your Facebook account with that chip you got implanted in you?
I just bought a Surface. I heard it was really good.
It's like the voice inside your head now, Bill Gates.
That's how he's paying for things now with his.
Well, I was on the 1C thing. They have a few items on the Phase 1C in Tennessee. They have a couple things on the Phase 1 in Tennessee that isn't like these big conditions. So they have like high blood pressure and asthma and stuff like that. And like I've had high blood pressure in the past. Like it's mostly genetic, and I cleared up that medicine. But that's how I was able to get in there. And then Tennessee just announced on April 5th everyone's eligible, which I think Kentucky's doing that same week.
We're the 12th. Yeah. We're the 12th.
I guess we didn't want to be outdone by Kentucky. So like, well, we're doing the 5th.
Yeah, we've kind of smoked you in all around getting people vaccinated up here.
I have my second dose the 14th or 12th, April 12th. I'll have my second dose. So then 2 weeks after that, I'll go to a restaurant. I haven't been to a restaurant in so long. So
nice.
Good stuff. Before we get to the rest of the card, there was some big news that broke, and as you know, this is a Do Bronx podcast. He is our inspiration for everything we do. Is Charles Oliveira, day one Do Bronx fan, and I was really mad. I think we might have talked about in the podcast last week that they announced Gaethje versus Chandler, and I was like, these fuckers did it. They're actually going to screw my boy. There's no one for him to fight. And then all of a sudden, bang, like Dana, Habib's retiring, news to me. We should probably make a title fight. And I don't know how it played out. Because
how the fuck does that work?
Well,
they could have just done Gaethje and Chandler for the title.
It doesn't make sense because it was Gaethje Chandler already scheduled, not signed, but scheduled. And then it's for the title, and they just booted Gaethje out. And then Gaethje said he found out on Twitter. So very UFC of them. And people were talking like, who's Gaethje going to fight? I have no idea who Gaethje fights. RDA, something like that. Someone mentioned Paul Felder.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck did Paul Felder do to you? Like, damn.
Trying to keep him in the commentator's booth or something.
Yeah, that's rough. But man, to me, funny enough, out of all the guys that Bronx could have been facing in this situation, to me, this might be the toughest style matchup. But still gotta love our boy here. I think he'll get the takedowns against Chandler, but the first round's gonna be sketchy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm not gonna have fun in that fight. I'm not gonna enjoy it. It's like watching Florida State yesterday. I didn't enjoy that.
Yeah, I think if you're gonna bet Chandler, you should bet him round 1 and probably get a pretty decent number.
Yeah, that's what's really sucking about that fight is there's actually a minus next to Bronx line this time.
It finally
so far.
Yeah.
We'll see.
It's not. Have they opened it up widely, or was it only?
We don't like help that cause because we like Bronx is the greatest fighter ever. You know,
Money's came in on Chandler.
Yeah, he's already down to minus 140.
There's like dozens of people that listen to this podcast that are throwing massive amounts of money at Bronx right now. So.
Yeah, I well, someone was saying like he's down to like minus 130, minus 140, and some people are like, God, I didn't know I had to lay juice. I was like, you don't really have to lay juice because Bronx isn't winning a decision, and we're gonna get plus money on inside the distance. So, like I think the difference with like a Tony versus Chandler, because Bronx always won inside, but then he didn't finish Ferguson. Is Chandler does not have 25 minutes of Chandler's not surviving on the ground for 25 minutes. He is not that great on. He's not going to be good on bottom. Where Tony is, and Tony can protect himself and stay out of subs, where Chandler just doesn't have that game. But scary fight. I would rather be facing Dustin Poirier as the president and CEO of the Bronx fan club. I actually thought Poirier was by far the easiest style matchup for Bronx out of all the possible contenders. I thought I'd say Poirier, Gaethje, and then Chandler, just because Chandler's like one punch power, but also wrestling.
Yeah. I'm just saying,
Poirier definitely the
year preview podcast. Who said that Bronx was going to beat Chandler specifically for the title? Yeah.
Well,
you got to get into
it's still early in the year, though, Brad.
You got to get into the UFC's twisted state of mind to come up with these things.
And it looks like I saw something on Twitter. I don't know if it was real or not. With Poirier Connor in July. And then when you think about like poor Justin fucking Gaethje, and I hate it for us too because Gaethje hasn't fought in a while, and he doesn't have a fight lined up, and I don't know who he's gonna fight. And like if he fights an RDA, he's not gonna get the next shot over Poirier or Connor.
He's gonna take a shot at mac and cheese.
I know what's wild is you take Khabib out of the equation now, and it's like
shit gets wild.
Gaethje's right back there to being a fucking problem for everybody. There's one guy that dude just I didn't think he matched up well against, and it turned out that way. But take Khabib out of the equation, and Gaethje's a fucking problem. He's a contender against any of those guys.
Against everybody but Bronx.
Obviously. But if you look at this division, it went from I don't want to say a boring division. It went from a dominant. I think when you lose a dominant champion like that, it's one thing, but when you look at any like from Bronx, Chandler, Gaethje, Poirier, Connor, those guys could all win the belt. Like they could each beat each other on any given night, outside of obviously Connor versus Bronx. But like when you look at it, like Connor, you're telling me Connor couldn't put Poirier out in a minute their next fight? You're telling me that Gaethje couldn't beat Connor, or that Chandler couldn't knock out Connor or Poirier? Like there's so many. The division. It now, to me, is the most competitive, fun division in sports, which means we'll probably get one title shot for all of 2021, and we'll let it die.
Yeah, 155's been like that for, as far as, like, depth, because a lot of the divisions are so good, like, from, like, down to 8 or 9, top 10. 55, you can find guys at, like, 20 and shit that are – it's competitive. Yeah. It's a great division.
Yeah. Like I think this is the first time that when a dominant champion has left a division, there hasn't just been a vacuum. Yeah. Because usually there's a bunch of there's the Jan Blachowicz end up the light heavyweight title.
Yeah. I mean it is deep too. Like you can go down to like he hasn't fought in a while, but you're telling me like Gregor Gillespie couldn't beat Michael Chandler? like in a fight, and like that, it goes that far down. And I think it's all the guys' styles are vastly different. They all have strengths and weaknesses in different areas. It's an amazing. It really is an amazing division. I'm interested to see what they do with. I'm guessing it's going to be RDA versus Gaethje, maybe even on that main card. So it's going to be an interesting one. But we'll move on back to the card from last week. But we had to obviously talk about two Bronx. All right, we'll go back to the beginning as we had Bruno Silva defeating JP Buys by knockout in the second round. Buys, terrible.
South African.
He's actually a South African.
He might be Canadian at this point.
The move did not matter.
One of his parents is Canadian and one is South African.
There you go.
I think that's like, man, like I didn't worry about him getting knocked out really in that fight he did, but man, he looked not good. And then we'll get to his wife later, which to me might be the worst performance in the history of the UFC. But yeah, JP's
Buys.
That's Buys is right. All right, let's move on now to I guess it was a catch weight. Who missed weight? Was that Montel?
No, it was the other guy.
The other
late notice guy.
Late notice guy. I don't remember even seeing him. I just remember seeing him lose. Montel Jackson defeated Jesse Strader. Early knockout, minus 700. Does what he's supposed to.
Yeah. He actually.
We have a fan question from Aaron Bronzer. Any Saeed bets on this card? A bet on the Saeed.
If you're gonna ask the question, like, don't have a fucking typo in the question though. You gotta spell it right.
Saeed. There you go.
It's not a side bet. It's a Saeed bet.
It'd be better if you could post a picture of Saeed.
Look, our boy Dixon got it a little closer to right, you know.
Saeed bet. Oh, too good. But Montel won. I don't know anything about him from this fight. It doesn't tell me much. Next fight, middleweight division, Trevin Giles defeated Roman Dolidze, 29-28 across the board. I found myself drifting away and watching basketball during this fight. I don't know if it was because it was boring. Maybe I wasn't paying close attention, or I was watching more basketball. I didn't have a bet on it, but yeah, I got nothing.
It wasn't great. I bet Giles at a little plus money. So, I paid sort of attention, but I don't know what you do. Who cares? This is one of those fights like
Giles is one of those guys that you think should be good, and he just never is. He has athleticism, and he just never puts it together. He could have easily lost this fight.
Well, I think what we do is when we say like this guy should be good, we're always basing it strictly on looks versus skills. Like if Trevin Giles wasn't muscular, we wouldn't make those comments because he's not a good wrestler.
He throws some combos. He just never throws.
He's not a great striker. He's not a great wrestler. He doesn't have great subs. He does nothing very well. He's just okay.
He's just him.
He does nothing exciting, but he wins rounds. That's what he does.
He's solid, and you think that guy would take the step to be a little better, and he never does. He's the same fucking guy.
How bad is Georgia though?
Ugh.
Horrible.
Do you remember? It was like I think it was when who's the Georgia wrestler that is hilarious and gets knocked out?
That's
Dash's
Murad.
Yeah.
No, wasn't Bektic Georgia, or was it a different guy?
No, Bektic is like Bosnian or something like that.
Croatian or something. Yeah.
It must have been like 7 years ago. It was a while ago, and there was a Georgia.
What's another shitty Georgian?
Yeah, because we had this might have been at least 6 years ago. We had like a 15-minute debate in the podcast where I said the state of Georgia had better wrestling than the country of Georgia.
Yeah.
And we had like a whole Sean, you do some research. You look like a nerd, especially with that.
Dvalishvili has been around for a long time. It
wasn't him. It wasn't.
Oh, what did Aaron say?
Makish?
No, that looks like you look like a
Makishvili.
Is that a real? It could be a real name. It might be a real name. I'm not sure.
I forgot about Makishvili.
That's the guy. There you go.
Yep.
I forgot that guy.
Never change, Georgia. Never change.
Georgia wrestling. It's the best. It's the best.
Yeah.
All right. Lightweight division. Grant Dawson defeated Leonardo Santos, knockout, third round, 1 second left. I took a lot from this fight. So the judges actually had Dawson gonna win no matter what. One judge I think actually had first two, so he had a clean sweep. But I don't know. I almost think Dawson took a step back in this fight to me. Or I'm pretty high on Dawson. I like him. I like his skill set. I like his wrestling, I like his grinding. He struggled in this fight versus a guy who's about 62 years old. So I don't know if I took. He's got heart. He's got balls. He's got cardio. But his takedown weren't as good as I thought. I don't know.
They're definitely not.
Brad talked about Santos's takedown defense last week. I think he has, as we saw, it's pretty damn good. And when Dawson can't get a takedown, it's if the other guy can strike, it's not a great look. I think Brad called it pretty fucking good, and he had a bet on Santos and it didn't cash. But like you kind of thought what exactly happened.
Yeah, I'm still not super high on him, but he does have a good motor and he's good on top once he gets there. But getting there and being stranded on the feet are big issues, especially when you're like a minus athlete.
I'm not like taking anything, away from him, like maybe Lance. I don't put more stock on him, I guess, for this one, but it wasn't like this was like some shit guy. Like we talked about last week. This is a consistently tough dude. He doesn't fight enough, but look, he hadn't lost in 12 years. Like, what the fuck do you want Dawson to do? He fought the guy, he beat him, he knocked his ass out. However he got it there, he knocked the dude out. When he was throwing that right hand, it was lengthened. Like he's got to get his hands better. Absolutely, he's got to learn to get a little more technique on the takedown this year. But Brad was right. That was dude had great takedown defense. I still like Dawson though. I like the kid.
Aaron was definitely right. I just looked it up. It was definitely Levon Mykakishvili.
Absolutely.
100. Like, God, where did that guy go? Because that was one of our best nicknames.
That was in the golden age of nicknames. That was like Ray along with Jambalaya and all those guys.
Tuxedo.
Tuxedo. God, that was when was that? That was
2015.
2015
when he was in the UFC. 2015, 2016.
If I recall, it might have been the Hacker and Diaz fight, and Jay was talking about how good of a wrestler he is, and I was like, dude, he wrestles he's a Georgia national champion. I was like, give me a fucking break. I was like, I'll take the Georgia high school state champion.
Hey, we're going to talk about a Mexican national champion shortly, so you watch your mouth, sir.
Man, I didn't know it was possible to set women's MMA back, but that is, man, Aaron, thank you. I would have never remembered that name for the rest of my life. Levon Mykakishvili.
That's definitely one of the top 10 all-timers.
Mykakishvili. Too good. All right, women's bantamweight division. Macy Chasson defeated Miriam Renault. Yeah, this is when my eyeballs – I had 3 TVs set up from Thursday through Saturday, and my dad and brother were over here watching that. I don't think an eyeball even made its way towards TV number 3. Yes, MMA was third TV.
That's fair.
On this night. But, yeah, I didn't watch a second of this.
Chase on decision, plus money.
Yeah, I was talking to Aaron during this one, and I actually watched it just because I was having a conversation about it, and not impressed.
Not good.
Yeah.
Shazon is not good.
Nope.
Like, there's going to be an opportunity. She's going to be a minus 600 again, and you're going to be able to get a massive fade on it.
Yeah.
Modest Bukaki going to give Mykakishvili a run for his money.
Hey, Dixon's zeroing in tonight. He's on the money tonight.
He's doing well. Well, I don't call him Modest Bukaki, though. That was Brad. I call him the Bukaki Party, which I think is a slightly
mine is definitely
Modest Bukaki is absolutely
no Bukaki.
I mean, the only other option is Lithuanian Bukauskas.
Another Bukauskas.
Another Bukauskas.
The adopted Bukauskas.
The adopted
He went over there on like an ambassadorial
Fucking
trip,
school
and
visa.
Form and spelled Bukaki out as a joke.
some
fucking-
poor Lithuanian girl just.
Oh, God. All right. Moving to the main card. Tai Tuivasa versus Harry Cumsucker.
Tai Tuivasa on the main
What
card.
a segue to the Harry Cumsucker. We're the worst.
Can you believe guys? Can you believe guys actually take this shit seriously?
I know. It's
Yeah.
a sport. It's a real sport. Too good. These are the guys that Tai Tuivasa needs to fight forever. He should go to the UFC and be like, you know how you get a win and like, I want a top 15 guy. Tuivasa should have in his contract he can't fight anybody in the top 20 or anyone that wrestled in even JUCO.
I would say anyone that has 2 or more UFC fights, Tuivasa can't fight him. Nope, off the table.
He's an awesome character. Like, he puts away guys he's supposed to. He's not very good, but he puts away guys he's supposed to. He does it quick. He's fun. He has fun interviews. He does fun stuff. Like, UFC needs, like, he's perfect main card filler on non-pay-per-views. Perfect.
He's also got the decency to get like submitted once he gasses out. So,
Yeah, he's not fighting through.
We don't want fat fucking heavyweights slobbing on each other for 15 minutes.
No.
We want dudes.
sometimes we do. Sometimes we do.
Well,
Sometimes.
for like 7 minutes.
When it's
and 31
lucrative.
For 7 minutes and 31 seconds.
There you go.
But we need more Tuivasas. Knock the guy in the first round. You don't say, man, fuck this. I'll fight another day. Let's get that.
That's right.
It was great. He even said in his interview, he was like, I mean, I got to know in the next couple days if I'm staying. Like, if they want me to fight again. Like, it was, but the UFC is so, you know who he's going to fight next? Curtis Blades.
That's what they'll do, bro. That's what they'll do. He will 100% fight someone like Curtis. You know what? I want to see Greg Hardy and Tuivasa. I think that would be hilarious.
There you go.
Man, I tell you what.
Tuivasa sleeps him.
That might not be good for old Greg.
Once you quit, you're always a quitter. Like, it's one of those
Lance and
things
his
you can't get through it. Once you quit like that, it's always going to be there. It's going to be sitting there. I am a fucking loser. I'm a quitter. My boy Spencer Lee is winning 3 national titles with no ACLs. Greg Hardy's just
He's got asthma. He needs to get that vaccine.
He's on 1C. He can get Greg. If you're listening to this, you can get your vaccine. You got the asthma. But man, yeah, Tai Tuivasa, love that guy. Next up, bantamweight division. Adrian Yanez defeated Gustavo Lopez. I bet Yanez here. I really liked him. I know you guys weren't as high. I think his striking is really good. He's technical. He doesn't leave many openings. I think what's different for some young, flashy strikers that makes Yanez to me a little bit better is his defense is pretty good. He's not leaving himself too open. Usually the young, flashy guys with the big striking are usually leaving themselves open to counters. He's very sound defensively as well, and I think this kid's pretty good. I don't know what his wrestling's like. That wasn't tested at all here, which mistake by Gustavo Lopez, obviously. But I don't know what his wrestling's like, but his striking can put him up there with a lot of guys.
Yeah, I thought he looked great. And I thought he looked great against a guy that was a lot tougher than I think most people realize. Like, Lopez brought the fight, man. Like, props to him. I hope they give him another one. But, yeah, I think you're right. I think you hit it right on. Like, a lot of these younger guys that already look like they have really good offensive output, man, they end up getting tagged up more than they should and taking damage. He didn't, man. We got to see. Even though I thought Lopez was a tough out, we gotta see a little more. But I'm absolutely intrigued by Yanez, man. That kid's pretty good.
He's good.
He's good.
I'll watch him again.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's good. All right. This one, man.
The monster rat.
Perfect betting angle here.
The monster rat.
Yeah. So Monster Rat versus Sham Buys. I don't know what was worse here. Was it Buys
Yes.
constantly getting
100%.
A, putting herself back into it, B, not being able to stop that stupid takedown, or C, not getting away from it once she was down there. What was the word?
Technique of that? The
D,
technique.
all of the above.
We're watching this. We're watching this live, and I'm just blown away by the highest of level of technique on a head and arm that I've ever seen in my life. Like,
I'm sad I missed the live chat for this one.
She couldn't stop
amazing.
it. She couldn't stop it. I was just loving it. Every single one. I was just screaming. Yeah, it was amazing. But I also had like plus 275 on old girl.
That helps.
And
Really
like
stop.
the betting angle's like, you're not gonna bet against this chick that just saw her old man get his fucking life halfway ended earlier in the night. Like, absolutely. But yeah, that was all seriousness. That was some funny shit to watch. It was the peakest of, if you was to show somebody a women's MMA fight and be like, can you perfectly describe what women's MMA is? Watch some chick literally pull off a head and arm every single time and then hold her in a bulldog choke for 5 minutes. Just sitting there holding her the entire time. Next round starts, head and arm, holding her there in a book.
How could she not get I understand she doesn't know how to wrestle and she couldn't stop the takedown. I don't know why she kept putting herself in the same position to get taken down, but how can she not get up from that position? Like, I don't understand.
Nobody's had a more effective headlock since Hulk Hogan in the 80s.
I feel like if she had that on me, I would just literally stand up. I would just literally stand up. I would roll like this. I'd go to my knees and I would stand up.
That was a Brutus the Barber Beefcake level headlock she had on her. I'm surprised she didn't go.
She would have been asleep.
Where was this submission? Couldn't she have just ended it early for us and at least submitted her?
Yeah, where was the scarf hold arm lock?
Yeah. That was one of the worst fights I've ever seen. Ever.
It's fucking horrible.
I can't think of a worse fight. And man, buys.
Sarah Morass and Vanessa Mello.
Yeah, when they cut them both. That was fucking pretty bad too.
Yes.
Dude, we could go on and on. Like,
I was just thinking of like the last month or two.
I guess to the bias fight, right? Like, she trains at a camp. I would assume she's at a camp, and there must be some sort of wrestler at said camp. Stopping that takedown is like day one shit, right? Like, I don't understand. I don't understand how she can train for a fight with a wrestler and other wrestlers and not be able to stop that. I don't get it.
Apparently, she knew that that's what Monster Rat was all about.
She talked about it. Yeah, she did an interview saying because she was like helping the girl that was supposed to fight her.
That's right.
So she was like, I was imitating her, and I know she's really good at this head and arm throw or some shit. And she went, yeah, that's hilarious, dude. She was specifically training for that. Stop it.
Dude, that is so embarrassing. We don't need to talk about it anymore, but that was bad. And then Max Griffin knocked out my boy Song Kanan.
Yeah. Only bet I lost.
Man,
only bet I lost.
I actually thought it was turning a little bit right before the knockout. I was like, Griffin looks big league tired. Like, he looks exhausted after like a minute. And then boom.
Good
night. Yeah. So it is that there's nothing to take from this. Max Griffin's not good. Song Kanan's not good. I was happy for Max Griffin though. I actually like him. He seems like a good dude.
Glad he got a finish.
He's cost me a lot of money.
Yeah. My cock is smelly. All right. Let's move on now to UFC 260, which we were talking about before the show. This is an extremely disgusting, terrible pay-per-view. I mean,
it's bad.
Oh, this is a pay-per-view?
Well, they lost.
I didn't even know.
They lost it. Like, it was a 2-fight pay-per-view. Yeah, the Hawgannou versus Stipe.
Oh, we lost
Ortega.
Yeah, that's right.
Which we were talking before the show, trying to figure out what our bets were going to be, consensus and stuff. And like, I think Ortega might have slipped in there to be the consensus if he was
absolutely
if he was fighting. Wes, we'll let you know who the consensus is once we get there. But you are.
I told him already.
Okay. He probably doesn't agree.
I have no idea. No, if it's what, no. Absolutely
right. It's a consensus, Wes. That means all of us agree. All right.
Sean don't agree with that. There's no way.
Sean agree with it. He's with us.
I've come to terms.
We'll get there. Wes is real high. Who knows what messages he was reading?
Yeah, I mean, the prelims are bad. The first two fights of the pay-per-view are, I don't know who a Jamie Mullarkey is, but I know who Kama Worthy is.
It's Joe Biden's son, Lance. I tried to tell you. He's all about the Mullarkey.
And then we go.
Is Jamie Corn Pop Mullarkey.
So we go Jamie Mullarkey, Kama Worthy, Jillian Robertson, Miranda Maverick. And then we go to Sean O'Malley coming off of faking an injury, and Thomas Almeida, who looks Jacare washed. That's a pay-per-view. And then the co-main is Woodley, who looks like Tyron Woodley in 2021. I mean, this card is pathetic. And then the next pay-per-view, the one they're doing in Florida to kill all those people, that's a terrible pay-per-view. I was bitching about the card. I was like, 2 women's fights, and you get a main event no one cares about. And the guy was like, "Oh, you're just bitching. This card isn't that bad." I was like, thousands of people are going to literally die because of this card.
I was like, for your sins.
I was like, you got to be better.
They're giving out 2 vouchers for 16-ounce fucking PBRs, dude. Like, I mean, I'm fucking there, bro. You know, like how dumb is that though? You literally just lose a title fight because of a positive COVID test, and you're like, you know what? Fuck that. 15,000 people in a stadium. Let's do it. You know? Wow.
Yeah. With that said, like maybe I'll just fly out to Houston in May though.
Ooh.
I'm gonna be fully vaccinated. I don't know. We'll see. No, I wouldn't. I probably wouldn't
test that vaccine, eh?
Well, you got to think
resistance.
if you were going to get a card in Texas where no one's getting vaccinated with MMA fans, like even if I was fully vaccinated, I'd just be gross. It'd just be like vomit all over me.
Way.
You're getting one of the other variants.
Exactly. Yep. You couldn't pay me a free Carnival cruise to go to one of those.
Oh no! Once I'm 2 weeks past my second dose, like I'm out there. I haven't even eaten in a restaurant in like a year. Like I'm going to a restaurant. I'm going to do things. Yeah, 100% effective.
Lance is just going to be out there licking doorknobs in Nashville.
Well,
that's what I told the wife. I was like, I get that vaccine and I'm going right across the river to the fucking casino.
Dude, I will be there. I will meet you, dude.
Straight up, bro.
I'm not kidding.
I'm going to Caesars like as soon as I'm 2 weeks after that last stuff.
They renamed it. I forgot. It's not Horseshoe anymore.
No, it's nice, bro. They got a nice little sports book over and everything. It's nice.
No joke. As soon as you get it and you're 2 weeks past, I will take a day off and I'll leave at like 5 a.m. and I'll spend an entire day there.
Let's go.
I'm always comp there, so I get a free hotel. I'm in. Totally in. Anyway, yes, I'm gonna go downtown and lick toilet seats. Me and Evan already. Well, my favorite bar is still closed from the bomb. So
shit! Was it that close to the bar down there?
In front of it, it blew up billiards.
Oh shit! I didn't know it was in front of billiards.
Buffalo Billiards.
Yes, it blew up.
The bar. Yeah, the bar we always go.
Coyote Ugly, Dick's, Hooters, billiards, all that. Like fucking.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, I'm watching it on Christmas morning, and I was like, "Oh no, not there!" No. Time, like, as soon as, like,
I mean, Lance goes there. He's like the richest dude in Nashville, but he still goes there and drinks for like half off and free all the time.
Of course,
he was probably crying when he saw it.
How do you think you stay rich?
There you go.
You want to try this shot? Well, yeah. So whenever, I think I've said this before, but so March 11th is when the world shut down last year. That's when the tournaments were canceled. Basketball was canceled. Everything was canceled. That was my birthday. So I was at billiards. I literally slept like inside of a toilet for like an hour the night everything was locking down on my birthday on March 11th last year. And then that was the last time I've been downtown.
Fuck.
I never went back to the office for more than 2 minutes. So I woke up the next day on the 12th because I black out, like throwing up out the window on the way to work in the morning, 7 a.m. And I walked into the office like I think I had vomit on me. I walked straight to my office. I grabbed my laptop. I put it in the bag. I left, and I never went back to the office. I didn't clean it out. They were like, "Hey, you got to clean your office out." I was like, "Just throw all that shit out."
Mhm.
No,
Get rid of it.
it smells like puke anyway.
Literally, I had 10 years worth of like stuff that piled up from working there in that office, and I literally told them to throw it all out. I was like, "I don't give a shit. I got my computer. I'm good." So
I went back once in September. That's not because I wanted to clean out my desk. I wanted to go back to the restaurants that I used to go to for lunch.
they must be hurt. Like, just like this little area where my office was, we had 800 people in my office, and there was like a bunch of these little restaurants that were only open breakfast and lunch that were basically serviced from like my company and a few others.
Yeah, our downtown where Allison's office is, I mean, it's grown so much over the past like 10, 15 years with younger. They got so many condos, and young people, and restaurants. Dude, they're hurting like bad from all. There's so many offices and shit down there to where people eat.
Yeah,
It's bad.
Well, restaurants, then also like Nashville's like downtown Nashville's gotten outrageously expensive for like condos and apartments. Like one of the most expensive in the, in half the U.S. really, outside of like California, New York, Boston, all those areas where you're paying like $2,500 for an apartment in downtown Nashville. No one needs to live there anymore, and they just built all these brand new condos, like 25 stories and all this shit. And like, who's gonna pay $2,500 to work downtown when you work in your fucking apartment?
Yep.
So yeah, it's gonna be interesting because my company's never going back. We announced a long time ago we're gonna be remote first. We're gonna have an office that's down to one floor. So it's gonna be interesting. But I'm ready to fucking travel after the second vaccine. I'm like, unleash me. Like I'm ready to get my status.
I feel the same way. Like, let me go, bro.
We've got a secure network. As long as I have an internet connection, I can work from anywhere.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Sometime in May, Wes, I'm coming down. Yeah, go get the vaccine. What are you doing?
April 12th. April fucking 12th, man. I'm getting mine.
Kind of condition. Just make it up.
I mean,
Be a real American.
I'm not gonna take one, man. Wife doesn't want me to like take somebody's vaccine that might need it, so I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait.
Yeah,
you're a good person, Wesley.
She's in like the healthcare field, so yeah.
I'm gonna wait my turn.
Not a good look.
End of May, we'll do something. But let's jump into this card now. Middleweight division: Marc-Andre Canadian versus Abu Azaitar, which I double check. It's the shitty Azaitar, not the guy who like brings bags and knocks people out.
So I know we talked about it. Is it the other one? The Ottoman is that the other Azaitar?
Yeah.
So they said that they think he did have roids in the bag that got him kicked off the fight island. I think,
but they don't care. They've signed him for another fight or something like that.
Absolutely, dude. Cry it off. Come on.
He needs people that can fight on the Abu Dhabi cards. What the fuck are we doing here?
Everyone wants to fight.
Yeah. I believe both of them, both of the Azaitar brothers are frauds. This guy is much more of a fraud because he doesn't really knock people out like his brother. I would fade this guy, but I can't have money on Canadians. That is a complete... I don't think I've won money on a Canadian in years, and I will... anytime I bet them, they lose, or I just don't bet them, and they win. So Barriault probably wins a decision. I'm not touching it.
I think the last time I bet the Canadian won was George St. Pierre over Michael Bisping.
Oh, Bisping, yeah.
That might have been it. Wes.
Yeah, I'm kind of with Sean here, but I think I'm gonna probably talk myself into betting another fucking Canadian here and just not learn my lesson. Yeah, I think he could probably get a decision here, man. But yeah, I haven't done it yet, man. It's gonna take a little bit to talk myself into it. If the line comes down a little bit, I'll probably go ahead and take another Canadian. Hopefully I don't lose.
Don't do it. Friends don't let friends drive drunk or bet on Canadian.
Get somebody to I think some more money are coming on the Canadian. I'll pass.
You hope so. You hope money
I do.
So you don't have to bet.
They go the other way and you're like, oh, it's like plus 120. I gotta bet. All right, Bradley.
Yeah, I might end up with some losing money on a Canadian here because this other guy is very not good. Hasn't fought in almost 3 years now.
Really?
Has been injured, withdrawn from fights. Maybe it's all because he's been hitting those good steroid cycles, like his brother. You know, they've got guys that are sneaking in that good Moroccan shit in Fight Island, but who knows? I just think that the Canadian's probably going to hold him up against the cage because a lot of shittier guys have been able to take him down. So, yeah, if Abu can't get him out of there in the first round, and Barriault has never been knocked out, I think it's going to be trouble for Azaitar.
Yeah, I side that way. I barely remember the Ottoman fella. Or not Ottoman. This is Abu. The Abu.
Yeah, he only had one fight in the UFC.
I know the guy with the power. Yeah, I always I've bet on Barriault before, and I keep thinking he's okay, and
He's
like
not.
he has moments of okayness. He's really not good though. Like he's not good at all. Like he just kind of like lunges forward. Like he does this when he just lunges forward. He's not very crisp with his striking. He doesn't have much power. He's always tired, just constantly. He seems exhausted. Even when he's winning rounds, he seems like it's a lot of work. Like nothing comes easy for this fella. Like everything is real hard. Everything's tough for him. But I do give him a slight edge. But I am no. I'm not betting this fight. All right, let's move on to the light heavyweight division. Some call him Modest Bukaki. Others call him the Bukaki Party. And we have him taking on Michael Oleksiejczuk. New Sean. The Candyman can.
The Candyman can. The Modest Bukaki looked more mediocre Bukaki last time out. I know it was Jimmy Crute.
Rebel Bukaki.
It was against Jimmy Crute. He's a pretty decent fighter, so I guess that's not the worst loss. But I like Michael Oleksiejczuk here. He really only struggles when people take him down. When he's on the feet, he is a very big puncher, and he's got decent striking. Doesn't get hit much. I don't think he's going to have to worry about the takedown in this fight. So I think he gets the win. It's not a big edge or anything like that because he's still kind of a sketchy fighter. So I just put him in a 1 unit parlay.
Wes, do you remember when everyone thought Oleksiejczuk was this like top 5 or 10 fighter because he beat like Roundtree and Johnny Valanche and Tigulov, and I think he was ranked like 6 or 7 or something.
he was,
and then he got he got Von Prude.
Yeah, he did.
He was one of those Twitter the next champion, on Fight Night guys.
I bet Kelton loved a lot of Kelton units.
I do agree with Sean here again, though. I think this fight's going to take place on the feet. Michael Oleksiejczuk, he's not horrible if he can keep this standing. It's guys that get him down. We saw what Osp did to him. What Crute did once he got him down. So I don't think he's got to worry about that as much here. And I just think he's the better guy on the feet. I'm hoping this line comes down a little bit. It was like minus 145 for a few minutes. Hoping it comes down a little. I really don't want to lay juice on him here. But I'll probably end up having a bet on Michael Oleksiejczuk here.
Brad?
All right. So he beat Johnny Valanche. Sure. He beat Antibodies. Sure. Subbed by Von Prude. No shame in that.
Did outstrike him before that.
He got taken down 8 times in a fight that didn't even go 1 round.
So what you're saying is he can get up from takedowns.
I'm saying that anybody can probably take him down.
But he'll get up.
Doesn't matter because outside of the first round, even inside of the first round, he starts to get a little tired and he starts to get a little sleepy. And I think once he starts to get a little tired and a little sleepy, he's going to get a little surprise. the modest Bukkake is gonna finish all over this dude.
Oh no!
So we got some plus 310. I think I saw on modest Bukkake to get him out of there, and I kind of think that's what's gonna happen. There might be a little bit of holding in the clinch and grinding it out early, but yeah, somebody's getting finished in this fight. I'll always lean towards the dog a little bit just because that's who I am. But honestly, the under in this one's not terrible either. Under 2.5 is minus 140.
Yeah, I looked at the under.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Lance is frozen.
Lance.
Fucking Lance.
Thick.
Oh,
Um,
so sad.
Yeah. So I guess we'll move on. Oh,
He's
is
back.
he back?
He's
There he
back.
is.
Whew.
He's very stoic. Now he's back.
I was jumping around during Brad's thingy, his Bukkake party over there. Yeah, I don't have anything. I think Oleksiejczuk is the more likely winner here, but that's just not something I'm going to bet on. All right. Next up, welterweight division. Jared Gooden versus Shitty Nurmagomedov. Nushan.
Yeah, I don't think either of these guys are very good. Nurmagomedov obviously probably gets 20, 30, 40 cents added just because his last name is what it is. He's not that good. I know he's got some takedowns in the UFC, but they are not,
submitted
just not
immediately.
Good. Yeah, and then he gets triangled by David Zawada. That is a bad look. Gooden probably can stuff some takedowns, and he is gonna light him up on the feet, and who knows what else he can do. So I'll pick Gooden. It's more of a fade on Nurmagomedov though.
Wes?
Yeah, I'm not sure Gooden can stuff those takedowns though. Honestly, I mean, on the feet, yeah, he's got a shot.
And it's totally going to stay on the feet.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm not positive about that. I don't think the shitty Khabib has got much to worry about as far as subs and shit on the mat. So I'm gonna pick him, but there's no way I'm putting any kind of money on this guy at minus 230 or whatever. I don't think Gooden can stop the takedowns though for me to take a shot on the dog.
All it is the name, Wes. It's just the name. It's confusing you.
Yeah. We don't want him to stop the takedowns. Shitty Nurmagomedov gets subbed just every time the fight hits the mat.
He could.
Jeez.
He could.
He's like, oh, we're on the ground now. This is where I get submitted. This is what I do.
David
into that
Zawada, Pablo Kush. Oh God, this is tough. Elite grapplers. Brad.
Yeah, this guy, it even says it in his name. He's not meant to be a fighter. He's a baker. He's a Boo Baker. I don't know what he's baking exactly, but it's not wins in MMA because this guy is not good. He might get takedowns here, but honestly, I'm not even convinced of that because I've seen a few of Gooden's fights in Titan, and he's fought better wrestlers than this guy and ended up on his back against a bunch against like Mike Graves. But that dude's actually pretty good. I still have no idea what happened that he didn't end up staying with the UFC. He got cut after like a draw.
I think he raped, didn't he?
Yeah,
that sounds about right.
There were some allegations.
Yeah,
there were some allegations.
There you go. So that makes sense. But he's a pretty good fighter, and Gooden gave him a pretty good scrap and was able to stuff a lot of his takedowns, and eventually he ended up on his back. But Graves is a whole lot bigger and stronger than Nurmagomedov. So I think it's Gooden on the feet, and he's going to piss me off because he's like a low rent Bobby Green, a lot of terrible like posturing and shit talking and Kevin Hollanding, but I got a bit on him here. This Russian he's bad and boring.
Yeah, I like Gooden here. I feel like if it wasn't for the last name, this fight would be around to pick 'em. I think this fight could go either way. Russians always get inflated in general. Russian lines are always inflated versus skill level in competition faced. Then you throw in, and we got a Medov, which any Medov is obviously gonna inflate the line 50 cents. Now we got a Nurmagomedov. That's $1.50 at least off. That's just escalating the line. This guy is not good. He is a wrestler who isn't good at wrestling, and when it hits the mat, he's constantly in jeopardy. He's not a good striker. He doesn't have good sub defense. He doesn't have great submissions. He's not a very good, he's not good at anything. And Gooden has some decent power. He's showed flashes of that in his UFC debut. His striking isn't terrible. And Gooden has a handful of finishes even on the mat. And Nurmagomedov gets subbed by all kinds of guys. And I think there's a chance Gooden could get a finish here. I haven't bet yet, but I was thinking of actually kind of breaking my bet up where maybe it's half on inside the distance. I think it was plus 380 inside the distance.
Bet online.
This man did get subbed out by Pablo Kush on
and
PFL.
David Kawada.
PFL, and that was just a couple years ago.
Yeah, not long ago.
Good.
And you're getting what you said plus 450 inside the distance.
Inside.
I don't know how you don't play that with a guy that has finished most of his fights in what I call a close fight versus a guy who's going to quit, tap out, not do much there. So I like this. This is despite West, which I think we turned him. You weren't on the pre-show, but this is the consensus bet of the week.
Damn right.
So we did.
I've been convinced.
Plus
Yeah,
203.
There we go.
Hey, all
Damn
right.
right. That's a
Now
good line.
We can go through this one quick. Jessica Penne, she's everyone wants to fight. Everyone wants to fight so bad that the UFC is giving Jessica Penne a fight off a 4-year layoff, a 3-fight losing streak at age 38. That is a thing that's happening. A 38-year-old with a 3-year layoff on a 3-fight losing streak is fighting on this card, and she is
a pick 'em.
something called Hannah Goldy. Which imagine how bad Hannah Goldy must be. She is a pick'em.
Although her given name, Hannah Goldschmidt.
She's not
so,
Jewish. Not Jewish. She couldn't do it. She would if the Bear Jew girl isn't happening. All right, Nushan. We got
whoever is the dog on Toutmaster, I will pick because this is extremely low level women's MMA, and what Brad has taught us is pick the dog in that case. Even though Penne has been out for 4 years, whoever the dog is.
I believe they also both have an OnlyFans, which is now the secondary
battle of the OnlyFans. This is the first time we've had
championship
versus
belt.
OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Almost, I think at this point, 80% of women's MMA fighters have an OnlyFans. This is gonna be tough for Jessica Penne coming back because she would probably had an actual real job, like waitressing or something. Now she has to, take a cut in income.
Now she got to go on EI.
UFC. It's tough. UFC really takes care of their fighters. Wes.
Yep. I have no idea how you have some money on Penne in this spot. It's probably her easiest fight that she's had maybe in 5 years or so, but man, I don't know. I'm gonna pick Goldy and Toutmaster just to not pick Jessica Penne, but I don't want my money anywhere near this one.
Brad, Penne?
If I could get a plus number beside not Jessica Penne's name, I would absolutely bet it.
I hear you.
I can't right now. So
it's getting there. It's getting there.
Is it going that way? I thought it was getting a little worse.
You can't bet. Goldie just lost to Miranda Maverick.
I don't care. Penne lost.
Yeah,
Penne lost by trying to set up an OnlyFans and failing at it.
Oh, she
with
failed?
MMA fans as a base.
We should start a GoFundMe so we can afford Jessica Penne and Jessica I's OnlyFans.
What about Hannah Goldie's OnlyFans?
I don't know. I don't.
But you buy 2, you get 1 free. No,
Mm.
they got
I
a
don't
deal
want
at OnlyFans.
As long as it doesn't include Paige Van Zant's.
Do you think OnlyFans, like, you can filter OnlyFans by women's MMA weight division?
Oh my god! Do they have a rankings? Do they have a ranking system?
There's more 145 fighters on OnlyFans than in the UFC rankings.
Literally. All right, let's move on to the best fight on the card, obviously, as this takes place in the light heavyweight division. Thick Willie Knight taking on Alonzo Menifield. We've broken this fight down before, so we can probably go faster. There's only one way to break this fight down, and it involves. So, one man looks like this. You can see this. It's large, right?
Flip it around.
Now, this one,
There you go, bro.
not bad, right? Decent size, but as you can see, you can't even see the other one. They're there.
Yep.
So that's the best breakdown of this fight. All right, I'll pass it over to you, Nushan. Thick Willie.
There's not much more to say.
That was like the whiteboard breakdown.
Thick Willie survives round 1. He's golden. He got to plus money just before the show started. I got 2 units on him at plus
Thick
102.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Pringles can. That's the perfect description of this fight. One's got a Pringles can, one's got the super large Pringles can. Yeah, I like Thick Willie in this spot too. He's definitely got to watch a little bit in that first, man. Like Menifield can still fucking throw bombs, dude. We know he can, but Thick Willie's been in there with some fucking sluggers, man. He's survived in that. I think he's definitely the more skilled technical guy on the feet too. So yeah, I like him here. And I think it's like even money minus 105, something like that. That's definitely a bet for me.
Our boy Mr. Honky was tweeting a bunch of videos like he always does, and he was just showing Thick Willie just picking up like cars and shit. like my boy
it looks
Ferrari.
like Thick Willie's training camp has been with a Latina strength and training coach, or strength and conditioning coach. So he's getting in a good camp.
Strength and conditioning.
And that's right. But like his whole style just fits exactly into this fight. I mean, he doesn't fit into much, but
Yo, these Magnums the biggest you got.
Is this the biggest banana hammock you sell?
Looking for the double XL Magnum triple plus. But it's Thick Willie.
But when this dude gets rocked early in fights, he always comes back with like a second wind, recovers, pops back up real quick. Thick Willie does what he does, and I think even if he gets in trouble here, he's good. He's even money. I like it. Decision prop plus 425.
No, we don't
like.
No.
I kind of like that too. We'll see.
A quitter, man. He's a quitter.
Is he though?
Yes, and Thick Willie doesn't. He doesn't. You think Thick Willie's got 15 minutes?
Absolutely, he does.
Yeah,
he's got things to do.
Thick Willie doesn't have 15 minutes. He's got like 5 minutes, and then a 2-minute recovery, and then another 8 minutes.
Old Thick Willie. Have you seen his Sherdog picture? He's wearing a Santa Claus hat.
Yeah.
He had some stuff on Instagram that it looks like he might be training in a garage.
Ooh, with a little Latina lady strength and conditioning.
Yep.
Thick Willie.
Saying.
Yeah, but when you look at this actual fight, Menifield comes out fast, and then he fades, and then he quits, which really goes straight into the Thick Willie, Glover Teixeira type of fighter, where the fight doesn't start until you're unconscious.
That's right.
And then once you become unconscious and you take that extra shot, you wake up, double leg takedown. They really do fight you know, that the Glover Thick Willie is very kind of similar with that, where, you know, Thick Willie, there was that one, I think it was Contender. Thick Willie gets dropped, and he's like mounted with his arms like
Back mount, yep.
like he's getting punched in the face. And it was kind of just like, it was kind of how Derek Lewis gets up, like, I'm going to get up now. And like just gets up, stands up and gets on top. And like, it's funny. I love guys like this, right? Like, you almost have to tell yourself before the fight, like in a Glover fight, like, I will not get nervous when he's mounted and one of his arms is broken. Like, it's fine. It's not a big deal. He's Thick Willie. So I love him in this fight. I think this is a good matchup for him. I think these are the kinds of matchups I want Thick Willie to take. He's a good fighter. You know, if you look past all the muscles and everything, like he does some good stuff. His ground and pound's pretty vicious, pretty good top control. And I think that's where this fight takes out. So this is the Munich Bet of the week. You could probably also say this is the Donnie Donowitz of the podcast consensus, if you want to go that route. I think everyone's like a thickness for this fight. So let's now move on to the main card, which it's funny saying we're going from Thick Willie Menifield, and then we're going to the main card to watch Jamie Mullarkey and Kama Worthy.
I need to get a beer and have a piss for this one because
we will be done breaking it down by the time you get back. Would you like to give your pick?
Kama Worthy gets taken down by everybody, and he's bad. Joe Biden's son, Jamie Mullarkey, is not going to put up with that, and he's going to win a decision here, baby. Bet it.
I have no idea who Jamie Mullarkey is. I'm looking him up. Nushan?
He can get some takedowns. He's a Australian wrestler.
All right. First of all, that was offensive. I spent all weekend watching the NCAA wrestling tournament. You're going to call this kid a wrestler? The one who lost to Varas Ziam and Brad Rydell? Not doing it.
He took them down a total of 8 times. I know that won't help anything though, right, Lance? Because you don't give a shit.
Who's he fighting?
He's fighting Kama Worthy. Now, Kama Worthy is very terrible. He has a very suspect chin. He just got knocked out last time. If you do have money on Mullarkey, it is going to be scary for a lot of this fight, just because he is hittable on the feet. But he does get takedowns, so I expect him probably to get a bunch of takedowns. There's not really a good prop. Like, inside the distance is only like plus 250, plus 275. I was hoping it'd be a lot higher than that. I might just sprinkle on Mullarkey, but I really hate this card for betting. So
fight doesn't go is down to minus 165.
Yeah, but Mullarkey could win a decision.
No, Worthy would quit.
He didn't quit against Violent Bob Ross.
I mean,
yeah.
This is the main card, Wes. Fuck, man.
On a pay-per-view. This is the fucking opener.
This is
Mullarkey's only had one decision in 12 wins.
I know. That is definitely a thing.
Don't hate that doesn't go.
I mean, Mullarkey took out oh shit, that's not even the same guy. Yeah, I'm way off there. I'm trying to find an angle. Sean's right. It's hard to find bets like for this card. I do agree though. Like he's gonna get takedowns here. There's gonna be spots where you're absolutely clenched up because Worthy's gonna be throwing bombs, and you just gotta hope that Mullarkey doesn't get caught with one of those. But the longer this fight goes on, I think the more opportunity it's going to be for him to just get this to the mat and grind on Worthy. I haven't bet it, man. I'm hoping it goes up a little bit. Worthy's usually bet. He's taking some money. I know he got knocked the fuck out last time, so that's probably causing him not to be a bigger fade. But I think before the fight gets here, he's going to go up and take a little bit of money, and I'm going to wait, and hopefully I can get plus 140 or something on the line.
Brad, that doesn't go is minus 165.
Yeah, but Worthy's going to get taken down a bunch and lose a decision, so that doesn't really matter.
He will get subbed. We're ground and pound.
Did you see his sub game against Luis Pena? Man, vicious stuff.
Well, Mullarkey's only been to the one fight in his career by decision. I feel like minus 165 is pretty good.
For some reason, I saw his last fight. He should have won that by decision as well.
He lost. Is that your bet? He should have won his last fight by decision?
Pretty much. I mean, my bet is not comma worthy.
Not comma worthy. Make sure when you say that, you put not comma worthy.
Yeah.
Comma worthy's not bad. He can finish guys. He's dangerous.
He's pretty bad.
He's a main card pay-per-view fighter, Brad. So is Jamie Mullarkey.
I forgot. Sorry.
He is in the year of 2021.
Jamie Mullarkey's 0-2 in his UFC career fighting comma worthy and lands himself on the pay-per-view card. Man,
everybody wants to fight.
Everyone wants
Buy
to fight.
a lotto ticket.
Everyone wants to fight. I actually like comma worthy here. I think he gets him out of there.
They thought the nepotism would stop once Joe Biden got in office. Man.
Mullarkey. All right. Women's flyweight, Gillian Robertson, Miranda Maverick. This is just a bang bang start to this pay-per-view card. Give me your $70, New Sean.
Yes, $70.
Yeah, you just pay $70 and then you wait an hour to actually turn into the fight.
That's why I can't do it. If I'm gonna pay, I need 5 fights.
Yeah.
I need 5.
This is bad. This is nowhere near a pay-per-view worthy fight, but here we are. Miranda Maverick did beat the shit out of the chick that she fought last time. That girl is not that good. So I don't know how much that tells us. She does have muscles though, and Gillian Robertson is not good. Maybe she can catch something. The old special armbar from guard. I'm picking Maverick. I don't care about this fight.
Sean or Wes?
Yeah, I'm picking Maverick, but I can't bring myself to care or bet this fight.
Brad?
All right. Hear me out.
Here we go.
Miranda, the otolaryngologist, Maverick.
Nope.
It's better than Fear the. You got to give me that at least.
Yeah.
And here, I'll explain it because I know you guys don't get it. You're a little slow on the uptake.
No,
it's
you have
okay.
to explain a nickname.
Not good.
It's not good.
I mean, you have to explain it to dumb people. But
Okay.
those are the doctors that do the rhinoplasties. And that chick that she fought, she busted up her nose. And then I don't know what happened, but she got hot afterwards.
Who did?
The Georgian chick.
Juju.
Yeah, the Joju.
Joju.
Oh, after she
busted up her nose.
Who is
So
she?
she's one of those. She's one of those ENT doctors.
So
ear, nose, throat doctors.
Shouldn't they gave her to Jessica Penne then? Shouldn't they?
Yeah, there you go.
Up, right.
That'll bump up those OnlyFans subscriptions for sure. Let her fix that nose up. She's all good.
Do you actually want to make money, Jessica? Like,
yeah, she's gonna win because she has muscles.
That's
okay.
$70.
So,
$70.
man, I kind of want to bet Gillian Robertson in this fight. I don't know why. I don't know why. Just Canadian MMA is in the rise, obviously.
It is?
Yep.
Yeah, it's on the rise. I was thinking about betting Gillian Robertson. I think I actually bet her last time. But I bet her last time because, it was a card where there was, nothing to bet on. And I was like, I guess I'll bet Gillian Robertson. So, I don't know. I do think she can win this fight. I think a fight that's going to take place mostly on the ground, I think she always has a chance in. I don't think Miranda Maverick is very good.
What's her by sub? Because that's probably about her only chance.
That's not a bad idea. Just save money by playing her by sub.
You're going to get some decent plus money, I would think.
Probably a lot.
Plus 400. That's not even that good.
Really?
Not in this spot.
Well, I think she's most like if she wins, I think subs. Well, she also elbows the fuck out of people when she gets on top too. She could knock her out.
So yeah,
or she could win a decision.
love that.
Or she could lose by any of those 3 means.
I don't think she's gonna lose. I don't think she's gonna lose by sub.
She might.
And I don't think she's going to lose by TKO because like she wasn't even close to knocking the Joju out. And that was after landing everything on her for like 5 minutes.
That's true. All right, that's enough of this. Bantamweight division. My least favorite fighter we decided last week, Sean O'Malley. He is my least favorite fighter in the UFC. And he's taking on Thomas Almeida, which I'm not happy about. I wanted him to fight, I don't know,
Rumble?
Yes. Rumble would be good.
I was going to just say like Marab.
The snooze machine?
Yeah, make him fight the snooze
that's not
machine.
enough damage though.
Yeah, no, I want
No, but for a guy like O'Malley, that's way more emasculating.
True. But he's
not going to do anything. He's just going to lay on you.
Exactly.
Yeah. What about my boy Frankie? Huh? Frankie's back.
I worry about Frankie.
Anyway, Almeida's so fucking washed. I mean, for a guy this young to be so washed, I was amazed. But Nishon.
He's not even 30, man.
It's crazy. It is so crazy.
Oh, but he has been taking damage a long time. This is not a guy that was completely just washing people on the regional scene. He was finishing violently, but he took some damage along the way. So I guess we shouldn't be too surprised. I kind of like him to get some calf kicks going here and fuck up O'Malley's dainty ankles. The likely scenario is O'Malley knocks him out. I'm not sold on O'Malley. I know Almeida is washed, but 270 on some calf kicks. I had to sprinkle. I got a half unit.
He's Washington. Wes?
Yeah, man, I'm really trying to talk myself into betting Almeida here. Like
It's gross.
I really want to, but it's not gonna happen, man. O'Malley's gonna knock him out, dude. He's gonna catch Almeida with something eventually, and Almeida's done. It's incredible that this guy's 29. And I know he started fighting like 18 or 19 and been in crazy Brazilian fights down there, just wild shit. Still, it's insane that guy's 29 and is so far gone. I don't know, man, but sometimes we see guys hit around 30 or something, 31, and they somehow get a chin back. I mean, it does happen. I just, man,
that was the one thing that didn't look bad in his last fight was his chin because he took some shots.
It kind of came back. I was like, what the fuck?
I mean, we've seen it in MMA where guys look like that in their late 20s, almost 30, and get to be 30, 31 and somehow start taking punches again. If that happens here, I mean, he's got a hell of a shot. But, man, say what you will, dog, mate. The kid hits. I mean, he's got a little bit of pop. I hear you taking that kind of price, though.
There's no bets on this card. I hate it.
I know, man. I'm picking Almeida. I'm probably gonna put fight doesn't go to decision and something because I do not see this going. If Almeida wins, he's gonna have to catch O'Malley, and I actually think O'Malley's gonna knock him out. That's around like minus 185 or something like that. Great parlay piece, I think. I'm going to pick Almeida, though, in Toutmaster. That line is kind of crazy. I don't think O'Malley should be minus 320 against almost anybody right now until we see how he comes back. So pick is Almeida, but that probably fight inside the distance.
Fuck Sean O'Malley. And hello, MMA Genie. He said hello.
What's up,
Bradley?
Hey, what up?
First of all, the real play would probably be the under 2.5 at minus 150.
Yeah.
That seems like the logical thing to look at here. But if we're being serious, Tommy Almeida is going to get him out of there.
He's back.
Absolutely. Back. I mean, he just needed 15 minutes to make sure that his chin was okay. He was like, you know what? I need to go back to my style of eating shots now that I've taken this 2-year break. And he found out that he can. So he's good now. It's on, baby.
Martinez just got slept by Davy Grant, and Almeida couldn't get that guy out of there.
Hey,
Dangerous.
Martinez dropped Davy Grant. He didn't drop Thomas Almeida.
That's true. Come
Yeah,
on, though. Like,
yeah.
come on.
But yeah, this is the one time where I'm perfectly okay with calf kicks. I want Almeida. I want Almeida to come out.
It only takes one.
6 calf kicks in the first 30 seconds
On this
of
guy,
this
might
fight.
only.
Because O'Malley's gonna quit once that happens. So I don't know what the inside line is for Almeida, but that's what's gonna happen. O'Malley's done. He's broken.
In half.
He's broken.
O'Malley's
450, Brad. Just for you.
There you go.
Well, TKO plus 500. Yeah.
You guys obviously know my opinions on Sean O'Malley, and just not a fan there. But who knows how he reacts? Like, he's one of the cockiest dudes you'll ever see. He not only loses his last fight, he loses embarrassingly, fakes an injury. Next day he's dancing, and he thought that was the best move. He's lost all his fans, and I think, going into that last fight, everyone was talking about O'Malley. He was the next big thing. There was all this stuff about him, all these interviews with him, all this stuff. No one has said a single word about this guy, and I don't know how that affects him. That can humble a man real quick. So I don't know. I mean, obviously there's something fucked up with his little skinny legs. I mean, that was funny. And
that wasn't the first time either.
He's soft, man. He's soft, and I say it all the time, and not just because it's O'Malley here, but you quit once, you're a quitter. Can't come back from quit. I think Greg Hardy I talked about earlier.
His body's a quitter. It's not even just him.
Yeah, but how he quit? He quit. Most
and then he can't even admit that he quit. At least Hardy's probably like in the gym being like, "Yeah, man, I didn't want that shit."
Yeah. Like O'Malley, I didn't lose. Like, I was an injury. I didn't lose. Like, oh yeah, an injury. You were dancing later that night, but Almeida's fucking washed, man. Like, here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna put a small bet on Almeida because I have to, and he's gonna lose. It's gonna happen, but O'Malley sucks, man. He sucks. He is not.
Lance hates this kid.
He fucking sucks. All right, let's go to the co-main event. We have in the welterweight division, Tyron Woodley versus Vicente Luque. This card is just a big fucking dumpster. Sean?
It's bad.
Bad.
I don't know if I've ever seen a recent UFC champion with as low of strikes landed per minute than Tyron Woodley. This dude,
fighter.
I mean, there's some shitty fighters. There's some shitty fighters that don't land any strikes, but a champion, 2.33 strikes per minute. This dude does not throw. It's like most good fighters are like 5 plus 6, 7.
Gotcha.
He's like a third of it, a quarter of it. It's fucking brutal. He just doesn't throw. We talk about it all the time. Different kinds of wash. There's wash where your chin just can't take a jab. There's a wash where you just don't throw because it's over. You don't like to be hit, or you.
In that sense, then Woodley's been washed his entire career because he's never thrown.
He could have been a wash champion. He was a wash champion. This is going to be another test. I know we talked when Woodley fought Burns that it was a good test to kind of see how washed he was after the no-show against Usman. He was worst. The loss against Covington, still fucking bad. Like, I know Covington is very, very good. He still didn't throw. I mean, he knew his only chance was to throw. He didn't throw. This is another test, but this is a fucking drop down again just to see how washed it is. I think if he loses his fight, he either retires or they cut him because Woodley is not worth even $200,000 or whatever the hell they're paying him. I think Luque's pressure and his offense is going to shut down Woodley. There is a chance that Woodley throws 1 strike per round and it lands. I don't think that's very high, but Luque does have some rough defense and can be hit and can be rocked. So it's not a slam dunk win for Luque, but I do think he is very good. I think his pressure and his volume will win him the fight. So I got him in the Olowokandi parlay 1 unit plus 130.
Wesley?
Yeah, I mean, everybody knows how big of a Luque fan I am. He's always had problems with guys that throw a lot of volume back at him. Like that's been his problem with his defensive part of his game. He's not going to worry about that here whatsoever. Sean just told you that. Like, seriously, Woodley doesn't throw enough that it's going to cause Luque the problems he usually has. It's easy to dodge big winging fucking one hook at a time and shit. I like Luque here. I think this is what I don't like is I think we're wasting Luque in this spot on a dude that's not going to do a whole lot. And it's not going to be a regular, crazy, exciting Luque fight. I think we're losing out on that here. I like Luque to win this fight. I actually think Woodley's probably still tough enough to where he's going to do a whole lot of nothing and back up. So I don't see Luque finishing. I like Luque by decision here. I think that's around plus 150 or so. I'm also going to have Luque in a parlay, maybe with that other fight inside the distance I talked about earlier. I haven't put my bets together yet, but I like Luque here and like him by decision. I think Woodley's going to stick around there and just not take any kind of damage or not, like Sean said, pull the trigger. He just can't even do it anymore. He's never been able to do it. So Luque by decision.
Brad?
Yeah, this is a strange fight that I'm not interested in, and it's probably going to end up a whole lot like Luque or Woodley and Rory McDonald, where Woodley's just backing up against the cage and kind of getting pieced up, except Luque is going to do a little bit more and put himself in a little bit more danger. So if you do have a bet on Luque, you're going to be clenching a bit just in case Woodley throws a punch. But man, I'm going to need more than plus 200 or whatever it is right now to bet on Woodley throwing a punch in 2021. And we know he's not going to wrestle. I mean,
and landed it like.
If you throw it on Luque, you're probably going to land it.
Yeah,
so,
decent shot.
If you're throwing 50 around, 60 around, Woodley's going to throw maybe 2.
Yeah, so if he lands one of them, it could be trouble.
His last knockout was 5 years.
It's always been that.
It's been 5 years since Woodley knocked somebody out.
Yeah, he doesn't. It's just not happening.
Punches.
Well, I think when you look at when you have one giant big moment knockout, everyone always thinks that you're just going to knock everyone out. Like everyone sees that every time you break down a Woodley fight and you see him fight, all you think about is him knocking the fuck out of Koscheck and then knocking the fuck out of Robbie. Yeah. And that's all you see. But Woodley's not that guy. He is just not that guy. Like he's not throwing it. And this fight's interesting. You have a guy who gets punched more than anyone in the division versus a guy who throws less punches than anyone in the division. What is going to happen? Like, who knows? So you're not betting it, Brad? Nothing?
Nothing.
I mean,
wait until fight night. I'll probably tweet something stupid out like 5 minutes before the fight happens.
Fair. I like Luque here. I think Woodley is – I'm actually surprised he didn't stop fighting after the Covington fight because at that point, that was the end of his ever being in the title picture again. He was embarrassed in that fight. He was hurt. Yeah, he was embarrassed in that fight. He got completely manhandled by a guy that he's been talking shit about forever. And the rib injury, he broke his rib. Like, I don't know.
What's more embarrassing, though? All of that stuff, his rap career, or the fact that he got his dick chewed off by a raccoon
on television or in a movie.
That was his big break. What are you talking about? That was his break.
That was his first ass shot. That's a big deal.
That rap career was pretty fucking brutal. Like, maybe getting the dick eaten off wasn't that bad compared to his fucking rap career.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Not a co-main event. And Luque is fun as hell.
They wasted him. They wasted him in this spot, man. Seriously.
Yeah. That's the problem with welterweight, though. At the top, you've got a bunch of guys that nobody really wants to see. Like
Luque round 3 is only a plus 1,000 at the old sketchy Russian book, Brad.
Yeah, I already took a quick peek, and yeah, not great. Man, it's
Unmute
rough.
yourself, Lance.
Lance, you're muted.
He doesn't even know how to.
You did it. I didn't do it to you. You're still muted.
No, he's not. Now he's just doing the.
Oh yeah, he's fucking with us. Nice.
Am I muted?
There we go. Now we're good. You're fucking with us.
I didn't even know there was a mute button.
You probably hit the M button or some shit like that.
I don't think Woodley's going out. I think this is going to be him taking a lot of shots, but not eating the one that puts him out. Woodley doesn't throw a lot of shots, which forces his opponents not to throw a lot of shots. Now, Luque isn't really a counter striker as much as a lot of guys. Luque creates himself and throws a lot of punches himself. So I think he's going to throw enough, and I think he wins a wide decision. I just think Woodley is going to be even more cautious in this fight. He just got finished. He's lost 3 in a row. This is it for him. He's facing a dangerous striker who's really aggressive. I think it's going to be circle. I think he's going to circle. He's going to circle. Honestly, you know what my one worry here is? We get old Woodley, and he just wrestles. He just decides, I'm going to lay on this guy. Because I think that's the only way to win.
I know you said that he hasn't knocked somebody out since 2016.
When's he wrestled?
When was the last time he consistently wrestled in a fight?
Consistently.
Well,
I would say like shot more than 2 takedowns.
Yeah, but you got to look at his last several fights. So he can't out wrestle Colby Covington. He wouldn't want to wrestle Gilbert Burns, and then he can't out wrestle Usman. So he couldn't get those fights, to the ground even if he wanted to. And then before that, he was fighting Maya and other guys. It's like, Stephen Thompson has weirdly good takedown defense. But I think in this fight, like his best option to me is wrestling. It's a wrestling attack. I think he's going to circle. I think he's going to push him against the cage. I think Luque is athletic enough and quick enough to get out of there and land his strikes and stuff to takedowns. But I wouldn't be surprised if that's his game plan here. But I do like Luque, so I will have Luque in a bet.
His last fight that he landed multiple takedowns, more than one, was 2014 against Carlos Condit.
Condit's a great wrestler. A really good wrestler.
That man, Condit's got some of this takedown defense.
And Condit probably would have come back and won that fight because Woodley was gassing out by that point before he blew out his knee.
He heard it, blew his knee. Yep.
All right, let's go to the main event. The only good fight on the pay-per-view. Really good fight, though, as we have the heavyweight division. Stipe Miocic, who fights once every 4 years, is gracing us with his presence, taking on Francis Hawgannou. And great fight, rematch of what was the fight? What was that, 3-4 years ago now? So a good bit, but good fight. You, Sean?
Yeah, this is. I think this is going to be a very split fight. I think people who like Stipe in this fight, I think they're probably getting an absolute bargain of a price because we saw this fight already, and nothing since then has Hawgannou has shown anything that can change that when it comes to wrestling. But I think, obviously this is we're kind of forecasting and predicting here with Ngannou, but I think he really thought he was invincible, and all he needed to do was touch Stipe, and it was over in that first fight.
Almost was.
It almost was. He did clip him, but I think he will fight smarter this time. I guess I don't exactly know that because he did just say fuck it and throw a million strikes against Rosenstruck with little to no technique just to get him out of there.
Couple duffies in there, but they land
a couple duffies.
They land a
couple duffies.
They land a whole lot different than Duffy though.
Yeah, just a bit. So I think Ngannou, after the Miocic fight, after the Lewis fight, I think he really got his shit together. I know he's fought like a total of like 3 minutes or something in the 4 fights that he's had since the Lewis fight. that just shows the freak that he is. I think he can land on Stipe and put him out. I think if he doesn't do that right away, it's still going to be a bit of a closer fight than it was last time. I think he can stuff some takedowns and get himself some more opportunities to land that strike again. He was only able to do it like once last time against Stipe. I think he has done enough since then to be able to get a couple more shots if he doesn't put him out early. I played Hawgannou TKO at plus 103. He nukes people. That's what he does. He almost did it to Stipe last time. I think Stipe's took a lot of damage since then. And he's getting older and older every day. Not like Hawgannou is young, but he's young in the fight game. I think he can land that bomb and lay him out.
Wes?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a whole lot to add to pretty much what Sean said. You know, most of it's all pretty much spot on. I guess, you know, outside of all that, just the kind of narrative base, you know, Stipe's 38 now. I know it's heavyweights, but he's taken some damage over his past few fights, man. He took some damage in the Hawgannou fight. I mean, he almost got knocked out in that fight. He didn't. Props to him. I think this will be a little bit different fight. I think Hawgannou, he'll definitely fight different than he fought Rosenstruck or something like that. And, I mean, we watched DC have fucking Stipe hurt so much on the feet. You know, I mean, it wasn't like DC was getting takedowns and shit. He was landing on Stipe hurting bad. Hagano's just got fucking kill you power, man. It's crazy. He's gonna land on Stipe. I hope he gets him out of there with the first one, but if he doesn't, I think he'll fight a smarter game this time and have more opportunities than just one. So yeah, I took just a little straight at like minus 115. I know it's 20 cents difference. I'd just rather have that on my side in case something dumb happens. I've seen it in heavyweight fights. Guys supposed to knock somebody out, they end up winning the decision. So I'll pay the little bit extra money. I'm betting on my boy Hog here. I think he's finally going to get that belt.
Brad?
And this is kind of a crazy fight to break down because you don't really need to break it down. You know, on one hand, you've got a guy that since their last fight has fought a lawn gnome in Daniel Cormier 3 times. And the other guy has just fought a bunch of old heavyweight trash bags. And the guy that has fought the guy that has fought the trash bags has knocked them out. But when he doesn't knock them out, he also doesn't look good. When was the last time that he convincingly won a round in a fight where he didn't finish somebody? Like if he doesn't get
Curtis Blades,
exactly. And even before that, he lost a round to Luis Henrique.
Hey, that was peak Henrique.
So yeah, like Stipe is going to win rounds, and it's a matter of if he makes it 25 minutes or not. If he makes it 25 minutes, he wins the fight. If he doesn't make it 25 minutes, it's because the Hog just pulls it out and mushroom slaps him upside the head, and that's the way it goes. So yeah, I don't have a bet on it at this point. I know our German friend Whiskey Sour has Stipe by decision minus 400. That gets canceled if the fight ends inside the distance, which is a tremendous bet. Yeah. All of the Keltons on that one, because that's
great.
Might
be Max Keltons on that one.
Yeah, I think the most they're taking on that one is $1,000.
1,000.
So,
yep.
We'll see, but yeah, this is a fun fight to end a really bad card. I might just sit back and watch it.
Yeah, there's not much to say about this fight that hasn't been said? I mean, is Hogg going to knock him out, or is Stipe going to be able to get this fight to the ground and keep it there the whole time? Every second he's in the feet, he's going to be in danger, at least for the first 15 minutes. Who knows how much power Ngannou would have in the 4th or 5th round if it gets that far. But I don't think it does. 3 years is 35 and 38 is a big difference in age. That 38 is getting old. That's getting old. And I think Stipe has, gotten in some – he's been in a couple wars. He's gotten knocked out, been in some big fights with DC, and I think that ages him a little bit as well. And I think the other thing, Stipe's body has changed a lot, I would say, since that first Ngannou fight. He's a lot thinner. He doesn't look like he's carrying as much mass. Like, if you look in that last DC fight, like, people almost didn't recognize him.
His head looks so big on that skinnier body. It looks weird.
And I think for Ngannou, like, he should probably not want that body. I think he's going to need all his size and strength to be able to get this fight. Stipe's not a great wrestler by any means. He's not this big time wrestler with these amazing takedowns. Like, he needs that extra weight. Yeah, Cleveland straight. I think he played baseball there too. I think he needs the bigger, heavier Stipe. Like, if he shows up looking like whatever the fuck that was against DC, like, that might have been a good style for DC to be quicker on the feet. But I think versus Hogg, he's going to need to get takedowns. And I don't know. We'll see what he looks like in the weigh-ins. Like, if I'm Stipe, I'm pulling up 260.
If he shows up great weight height, then you're all in on Stipe, eh?
Yeah. So I don't know. I feel like this is time. I think it's time for Stipe to not be champ. I think he's had his run, and I think it's Ngannou's time to win the fight. And I think it's good for the fans. Stipe is one of the most inactive champions we've had. He doesn't like fighting very often. He doesn't fight very often. His fights are always great. He's always in these fun fights, but he doesn't fight often. He's another inactive champ. He's 38 years old. And who knows, like, the last thing I think anyone wants is Stipe to win this belt, and then we have to wait a year for him to fight John Jones. I don't even and that'd be 2 years without John at that point. So I think Ngannou's going to win.
Hogg Bones is a much bigger fight anyway.
Oh,
it's going to be so awesome if Hogg wins and then him and Bones stare at each other for 25 minutes. I'm going to love that.
Oh, that's John would wrestle. Great. John would wrestle that one. But I do like Hogg here. I will be placing a wager on him. I think he's going to catch him. I think it's going to be quick. I think it's going to be under 2 minutes. Honestly, I think this is. I think Hogg is. I think he's learned his lesson on being patient. And a lot of guys, you say, hey, you got to be more patient. Don't be aggressive. I think his advice is the opposite. Go out there and just punch a fucking hole through him. Like, that's his advice. He needs to go out there. He's not going to win a grueling fight. He's not going to out-technique him. He needs to go out there and punch him in the fucking face as hard as he can to get the win. I think a 38-year-old Stipe off a couple wars is not the same Stipe. So I like Hogg here by knockout. But that'll do it for this
round
week.
One.
What?
Plus 200 round one.
I'd rather just play minus 110 or whatever it is. That's a good thing. I'd rather just take the winner. But that'll do it for this week's show. Had a fun time breaking down these fights. There's a card next week, right? There's a card every week.
No card next week. We get the rare week off.
Ooh.
That is. Maybe we'll take a week off too then.
Might be.
Come on, we got to talk about the Hogs win. And that's all we need to talk about.
These cards have been going.
Yeah.
So, yeah. All right. Yep. Thank you all for listening as always. And we'll talk to you next show.